So I've been asked to say a few words about Dante. I might say more than a few, but then I'm going to hand it over to the ambassador who's going to give him an award, which is fantastic. Thank you, Susan, all the people here at Middleburg. It's my first time to come to this festival. They've treated me amazingly. It's an honor. Anytime you have a film, it's an honor to be asked to present it to anyone, even including your family. The added incentive was the opportunity to be involved in handing an award to Dante Spinotti. And I would have driven backwards from Los Angeles in a 65 Ford just to be here to present Dante an award. He's one of the most special people in my life, and we've had an extraordinary working relationship. We've worked together several times. We've worked together twice, me as a director and Dante as a cinematographer. He is a true artist. I say true artist in the sense that it's impossible for him not to be creative. During the shooting of our film, and I'll say just a little bit about that before I hand this over, it was a pretty grueling shoot in terms of the time that we had to do what we needed to do. And one morning about 6:30, we had a very short window as they were doing the lights, and I go over and I look at Dante, and he's got this computer open. I said, "What are you doing?" He was editing a documentary on bicycle racing in the Alps at 6:30 in the morning while we were waiting to light the set to go shoot the movie. So he can't stop creating. And he, interestingly enough, has shot some of the most beautiful and famous films in the world and is up there with all the great cinematographers of our time. He started shooting film when he was 12 years old in a dark room under his bed. But he embraces technology, which is so fascinating because so many times people worry about shooting on digital or, we're going to lose the content, the quality of our films because we're shot in a new form. And Dante's a scientist. He reads. He knows more about the technology than anybody, and he really embraces that technology. To him, it's not something to fear. It's something to become another bow in his quiver. How do I actually do what I want to do? How do I paint these canvases better? How do I make them more beautiful or more real or whatever it calls for? When Dante and I decided to do I Saw the Light based on Hank Williams, everything he does is based upon how he feels about it emotionally, how he feels about the quality of the project or the people involved. He never does it. Truly, he's not anyone who never does it for the wrong reasons. When we talked about it, we had three things we wanted to do. We wanted to make a film that was as real as possible and as true as possible, so we disdained showing pop psychology and how Hank Williams became who Hank Williams was. Like, we don't have him from the cradle to the grave, and Dante and I agreed on that. This was over a fantastic Italian dinner. Several Italian dinners. You can either buy them in Los Angeles, or you can have his wife, who is not only brilliant, but a great cook, Marcello, make them, which is better. The second thing we decided to do was that we chose never to say, hey, how showing someone actually writing the music, because of genius, how do you do that? And we said, you know what, we don't want to really do that. What we really want to do, and the third was to actually do the music and do the music as real as possible. So the actor in the film is actually singing all the songs. It doesn't sound exactly like Hank Williams. That we knew that. It's impossible for one person to sound exactly like another, truly. But what it does do is it takes away sort of what I call the cellophane. It's real, it's visceral, and we were both thrilled with that opportunity to do that. So, meshed up in terms of what we were going to do, we got excited and went down to Shreveport. And I'll just hand it over to the ambassador. I want to say my favorite story about Dante. There's several types of directors of films. Sometimes they're demagogues, sometimes they're dictators. Sometimes they can be collaborators. There can be a lot of different things. In my case, I love to collaborate. It's one of the great things about being a director is that you actually get to find these fantastically talented people who have the same passion you do and then work together to be able to do something that represents all of your dreams. The first film that I was directing, and I had produced quite a few films, so I had actually finished setting up the shot. I had all the crew out there, and the actors had come in. We blocked the scene, in other words, how we were going to do it, and then I had it all the crew around, and said, okay, I'm going to put the camera here, and then I'm going to do this, and then we're going to move from here to here. At that time, Dante was smoking the worst cigars in the world. they cost him like 5 cents. And his wife was constantly telling him to quit. And so he had to stand over in the corner and smoke, blowing the smoke out the window because it's not legal to be smoking inside. We were in Canada. So I couldn't find him. Where's Dante? I just finished the whole thing. I'm ready to rock. So I shout out, Dante, did you hear what I said? Yes, Marc. I said, okay, what do you think? What do you think about that? And he goes, yes, something like that, but maybe just a little better. And you know what? He was right, and he did make it better, and I was all the better for it. So I'm going to hand this over to Ambassador Biciniero, who's going to give Dante this special award that couldn't be earned by a greater friend or a more brilliant artist, in my opinion.